The other question is about my dad. So
Mhm.
he started having short-term memory problems about 5 years ago, and in the last year, it's gotten really bad. And so they haven't given him the diagnosis of dementia, but it's pretty clear that that's what's going on.
Mhm.
Um, and so he was on some medication to help, I guess, abate the symptoms, but the
Mhm.
meds gave him some really bad side effects like frozen bottom jaw and incontinence and night terrors, and it slowed
What,
down the
what,
memory loss.
what did they put him on? I'm just curious.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Um,
So
so so he's been
it
on,
wasn't was it a sleep med?
I think that was one of them, but
Yeah, that was probably the night terrors, the sleep
okay.
med. Yeah.
So they've now because of all this, the extreme of the side effects, they've stopped all the medication. Um,
Mhm.
and so now like he still knows who everybody is and he can carry a
Mhm.
conversation, but he doesn't remember like street names and um, people that he doesn't see on a regular basis. He doesn't remember their names anymore. So he's, um, I don't know. I mean, he's got dementia, and I'm just wondering if there's anything, not necessarily to get rid of the dementia, but just to ease his transition, so to speak.
Is there a lot of inflammation in the body?
Um, well, I mean, he has arthritis, so I'm sure there's some inflammation there.
What kind of arthritis does he have?
He has problems with his back. It's all in his vertebrae, the arthritis. Um,
In his hips at all or anything like that?
he doesn't talk about these things, but it wouldn't surprise me if he does. I mean, he was a college football player and he's been an athlete
Yeah.
his entire life. He just stopped working out when they closed the gyms for the pandemic, and he's 80.
Okay. Okay. So he played football. Like how long did he play football? I'm curious.
um, 8 years.
What you remember? Did he ever talk about what position he played?
He was um, a defensive end, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I don't know a lot about football, but he was one of the guys out there tackling people.
Um, I mean, like it's a little bit of a tricky thing. Like
Yeah.
whenever we look at like some dementia, there can be things going on in the brain, but sometimes it's actually more things in the body.
Uh-huh.
And so you look at like inflammatory conditions, like if there's inflammatory conditions in the gut, if there's like really bad arthritis, the spine, usually you look a little more for like a hip or a knee or both hips and knees or something like that, where there's a lot of inflammatory material being generated. Um, uh, Energy levels. I mean, if he was working out a lot, he doesn't have a lot of fatigue given his age and everything.
That just started when he started taking the medication.
Okay, so uh, I mean, you could try treating a couple of things and see if it reduces. Like that's the thing is, like sometimes this has been going on for a while, and but the thing that I'd always like to see is like the reduction of any sort of inflammation in the body. So, things like black cumin, ginger, turmeric, things like that, taken internally. And if he doesn't want to do essential oils, some of that stuff you can find in the health food store, like a decent dosage, like not just
Mhm.
a capsule, like I'm talking 4 or 5 capsules a day, like something where he's taking. The only issue with turmeric, if you just do turmeric by itself, if he takes too big of a dosage, he'll lose the taste in his mouth.
Uh-huh.
So I usually mix it up, like I go like ginger and black cumin in a case
Okay.
like this. Turmeric is very good for the brain, so you could put it in the mix. Um, and then sometimes you do things that like are for brain fatigue, but I don't think brain fatigue is an issue. You do something like uh, rosemary, like have him inhale rosemary every day. It's not going to make it go away, but it is going to increase the blood flow. But the other thing that I put him on, and I like this sometimes for some issues like this, is that there's this mushroom called lion's mane,
Mhm.
and you can get the capsules. I would actually buy it not in capsules. I'd buy it in like a powder form so that you can take a really big dosage and keep the cost down.
Mhm.
The cost a lot of times with like things that like herbs and things that are in capsules is literally the capsule itself.
Uh-huh.
And so like I would get some powdered lion's mane. Who do we use? Shaman Shack.
That's what it is.
Well, we get it from a place called Shaman Shack.
Mhm.
And you just buy like a powder, and then we literally just like take a scoop and put it in a juice or coffee or something, and then just drink it, or tea.
Mhm.
And you can take big dosages that way. And the thing is it's very good for the brain, and it helps to, like, you could say it helps to like rehab the brain a little bit, and it also helps to undo the effects of like when the brain has been toxic, like either when there's been lack of oxygen, or like a lot of times with dementia, I'm the thing that I always like try to focus on is that there is, the potential of like an inflammatory material that has deposited in the brain, or like some plaque or something like that.
Yeah.
And it would help to undo some of that. They're actually studying that now to see if it can be treated for that. But I used to use it even for people that had like brain injuries. And we'd go through and we'd do a bunch of things, and I would give them massive dosages of lion's mane, massive dosages, and it didn't completely correct it, but it improved it. Like, you know what I mean? It definitely improved it. And if you hunt around, you can even find places where you can buy fresh lion's mane and cook it up and cut it and eat it, or eat it raw, or like when we get it, we saute it up like you would do like a piece of meat or something, and you just make these
Yeah.
like little lion's manes patties, and it's delicious. Like it's not like crazy good, but it's got some taste to it.
Uh-huh.
And just from time to time, like big dosages of limonene, very good for the brain. And it would probably help. Definitely wouldn't hurt. But here you just start treating things and you don't know. My concern would be that um, they talk about this with the football players all through the periods. It's not just that they got hit in the head, is that the blows to the body sometimes caused a little bit of jarring in the brain.
Yeah.
And I would think it would be more like a running back, a wide receiver, somebody who was getting blindsided or really hit, like the position your dad played. um they're able to be tense and like go up and like hit. Like I don't know that it would be that super predisposed to it, but still, with taking a lot of blows to the body, it's a little bit hard on the brain. And doesn't mean that that's what it is, but it's makes me curious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would still use lion's mane for that. You know what I
Okay.
mean? I would use lion's mane, I would use rosemary. After a period of time, like the turmeric, the ginger, the black cumin. And then over a period of time, I'd probably work sage into the mix. But basil is always a cerebral like stimulant, but I think there's something going on in the brain that we're wanting to address. So
Mhm.
you could have him take several drops of like 2-3 drops at a time of basil in water, and drink it. Um, that potentially can be helpful. Yeah. The thing that I would also like, that's why I was also asking about the medications, is that Ambien is the thing that I was like wondering if he was on. And there's another one that's kind of like Ambien. And it's for sleep. And the one of the side effects sometimes is night terrors.
Mhm.
Like they'll start to have panic attacks and night terrors. But the other thing that is with Ambien is it's also a dissociative. It makes you kind of check out. It's how it makes you fall asleep, is you kind of check out, and then
Yeah.
you bunk out. um, that wouldn't be super helpful for like cognitive recall. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because it's dissociation, and people who have dissociative issues have a hard time recalling things to the point where sometimes they'll lose like periods of the day or an hour or two of time. That would contribute to that. And I see the value in increasing and improving sleep, but the dissociative component, it granted, not my area, pharmaceuticals are not my area of expertise, but I've
Mhm.
seen it happen, and we got them off of it and undid some of it, and some of those symptoms went away.
Mhm.
And so, I usually have them interact with their physician about like, get on a different med, get on something different, whatever it is. But if he's on a sleep med, make sure it's something that's not causing dissociation, because
Okay.
that will make it even harder for him to cognitively call something up. And so that it's not that it would contribute to dementia, but it would look like dementia, that he's
Mhm.
already having some symptoms. It would make it look like it's the dementia, but it's just dissociation.
This, gotcha.
Yeah.
So the black cumin and the ginger, you're saying like 4 to 5
Yeah, like a combination of it. Like I would say,
combo.
like,
Okay.
yeah, like do maybe 3 capsules of black cumin and 3 capsules of ginger. Or if
Okay.
he's doing some oils, like 2 or 3 drops of black cumin and then 2 or 3 drops of ginger in water, and call it time. For whatever reason, like I'm liking ginger for him. Like the black
Okay.
cumin, but I really like ginger for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just the 1 scoop of the lion's mane powder
Yeah.
in
But
juice
daily. Yeah, but daily.
daily. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Keep us posted on that, because we will. I'm sure we'll have to adjust it, but that's where I would start.
Okay.
Like sometimes with something like this, you start treating, and then as time goes by, you go, okay, this is where we're at. Let's fine tune it, and then a couple of weeks goes by, then you fine tune it some more. And so
Okay.
the issue why I was wanting to ask a bunch was sometimes the dementia can also be transient, depending on how much inflammation is in the body. And so if that's the case, then it's all about managing the inflammation. If
You know,
it's not
unfortunately, he's pretty
transient,
consistent.
okay, then that means it's more brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Thank you so much.
you're so welcome. So we're going to switch over